Yo, welcome back. We are doing 7th grade, Unit 4 Geometry, Angles of Intersecting Lines. Alright, so we're on page 1. Question 1. It says, find the measure of the angles A, B, and C for the intersecting lines below. Alright, so we have angle A, B, and C. Okay, so vertical angles are, if we remember, vertical angles. Okay, so just looking at this, if I look at this angle here, which is 130 degrees, and this angle here, which is C, those are vertical angles, and vertical angles are equal. Okay, so that tells me right off the top that C is 130 degrees. So I know that quickly. Okay, C is 130 degrees because of vertical angles. Okay, make sure you put that in your notes. Okay, and again, you should be drawing these angles in your notes. You basically just draw a line that looks like this, and then draw a line that looks like this. Okay, put some arrows on it. Okay, this one would be 130. Then you would put A, B, and C, and then you can put arrows on it. So you just sketch this in your notes like this. Alright, so, and then add vertical angles are equal. That's a reminder. The next thing we're going to look at is a supplementary angle. Okay. Alright, because I'm going to use the drawing that they've given us. Alright, I just wanted to show you how to put it in your notes. Alright, the next thing that I'm going to look at is from here to here. This is a straight. Okay. That is a straight or supplementary angle. Okay. And we know that the supplementary angle is equal to 180 degrees. Okay, so from here, this whole entire circle is 180 degrees. Alright, and we know that part of that circle is, okay, so 180 degrees. And we know part of that circle here, from here to here, is 130. So I'm going to subtract, and that's going to give me angle B. Okay, so 180 minus 130 is 50. Okay. So I know that angle B is 50 degrees. And then I also know, okay, that angle B, if I look at angle B here and angle A here, they're vertical angles. And vertical angles are equal, so B and A both must be 50 degrees. Okay. So this is 50 and they're vertical angles, so this is going to also be 50. Alright, then we can check that, and that looks good. Alright, copy that in your notes. Pause and rewind as necessary. I'm going to move on to the next angle. Alright, I already told you how to draw the angles. I mentioned before, the first thing you're going to notice is that these two are vertical. Okay, so S is going to be 40 degrees. Okay, and then if I look at from here over to here, that's going to equal 180 degrees. Part of it is 40 degrees, so if I subtract, I'm going to get 140 degrees. I could also check it and see that 140 plus 40 gives me 180. Okay, so that means that this angle right here is 140 degrees. Angle Q is 140 degrees. And then if I look angle Q, okay, this angle here, angle Q, which is 140 degrees, and angle R, and let me go ahead and delete that. So we said Q is 140 degrees. Alright, and this right here is angle Q, which is the same vertical angle to angle R, so R has to be 140 degrees. Alright, so that's it for page 1. Let's move on to page number 2. Okay, so we have this angle here, 138, which means that this vertical angle has to be 138 degrees, and that's angle C. 138. Alright, then I have a supplementary angle. Okay, supplementary angle right here. So we're going to do a supplementary angle is 180. Part of it is 138. We could subtract. I think that might be like 42. Okay. 180 minus 138 equals 42. Okay, so that equals 42, which is going to be angle A equals 42, and we already know that if A right here is 42, this vertical angle over here, B, has to also equal 42. Okay, so A and B are both going to be 42 degrees. That's good right there. Moving on to the next one. We have 33 over here. Over here has to be 33. So angle S equals 33 degrees. Then we're going to do a supplementary angle right here. We go from here across to here. That's 180. That's supplementary. Part of it we will subtract the 33, and that's going to give us, I don't know, clear 180 minus 33 equals 147. Okay, 147. Okay. So right here we have 147 degrees and 147. If we check that, plus 33, that's 10, that's 7 plus 1, that's 8, that's 1. Okay, so that's 180 degrees. That checks out. So Q and R must be 147 degrees. Alright, checks out. Pause and rewind as necessary as we move on to page 3. Alright, so right here we have a straight or supplementary angle, so we know that 3x plus x are going to be 180. Okay, we're going to combine these like terms, so 3x plus 1x gives us 4x equals 180. Okay, we're going to solve by 4x by dividing both sides by 4. Okay, so if we take 180 divided by 4 equals 45. X is going to be 45, and 3x is going to be 3 times 45. Okay, 45 times 3 equals 135. Alright, then we can check that, and if we do 135 plus 45, 5 and 5 is 10, carry the 1, 7 plus 1 is 8, equals 180, so that checks out. So 3x is 135 and x equals 45. Check. And 3x plus x is 180. Alright, looks good. Moving on to the next. Right here is another straight angle, which has to equal 180 degrees. So we're going to get 2x plus 4x equals 180. We combine the like terms and get 6x equals 180. Divide both sides by 6. X equals 30. Okay. Calculator. Over just a little bit. Clear 180 divided by 6 equals 30. 2x, which is 2 times 30, equals 60. And 4x, which is 4 times 30, equals 120. Okay, we can check it because the 2x plus the 4x should equal 180. So the 2x is 60, the 4x is 120, and when we add those together we get 180. So that checks out. So 2x plus 4x is 180, x equal 30, 2x was 60, and 4x was 120. Check it out. Looks good. Copy that in your notes. Make sure you draw the angles in there. Okay, to represent. So make sure you put your angles in there like this. When you do your notes, make sure you do complete notes so that when you refer back to it, it makes sense. Alright, so make sure you put your angles in there. Pause and rewind as necessary. Moving on to the last page. Alright. Use angle relationships of intersecting lines. These are the intersecting lines. To complete the equation, solve for x. Find a measure of the angles. Okay, so over here we're gonna have our straight angle over here, and we know that equals to 180, which means let me see, I'm trying to save room. We got 4x plus x plus 30 equals, alright, let me do it up here. You've got 4x plus x plus 30 equals 180. Okay, so then when I combine my like terms, that's going to give me 5x plus 30 equals 180. Okay, so then you might be thinking, oh, next thing we're going to do is divide by 5. Okay, but we didn't get rid of the 30 first. Okay, so we have to move this 30, so we're going to subtract both sides with 30 first. Okay, that's going to leave us a 5x equals 160 or 150. Okay, now we divide by 5 on both sides, and that's going to give us an x equals 30. X equals 30 because 150 divided by 5 equals 30. Then we have x plus 30, okay, which is really x is 30, so that should be 30 plus 30 equals 60. And then we have 4 times 30, which equals 120. Okay, so if we add the x plus 30, which is 60, and the 4 times 30, which is 120, when we add them together, we get 180. So that's the check, which is 120 plus 60. Add that together, that gives us 180, which checks out. Okay, so then here they're looking for this right here, this line, so they kind of skipped this line and went to this line. Okay, the 5 goes here because it has the x, and the 30 goes here because there's no letter next to it. Then we said the x equaled 30. Then we said x plus 30 equals 60. And then we said 4x was 120. Then we checked it out. Okay, last but not least, okay, we are doing, let's change the color. Right here, this equals 180. So that means that 8x plus 20 plus 2x equals 180. We're going to combine these like terms, and we would get 10x plus 20 equals 180. Subtract the 20 from both sides. That's going to leave us a 10x equals 160. Now we divide both sides by 10. Okay. That gives us an x equals 16. Okay. Alright, then we substitute 2 times 16 equals 32. Right? Clear 16 times 2 equals 32. And here we're going to substitute 8 times 16 plus 20 equals, clear 16 times 8 plus 20 equals 148. 148. So this is 148, and this is 32, and when we add them together, they should equal 180. Okay, so we check and we do 148 plus 32. 8, that's 10. 7 plus 1 is 8. Okay, because 8 plus 2 is 10, carried the 1. 7 plus 1 is 8, that equals 180. That all checks out. So this was 20. This was 10x. X was 16. 2x was 32. And 8x plus 20 was 148. Alright, looks good. Put this in your notes. Don't forget your drawings. Pause and rewind as necessary. Ask questions in class. Other than that, peace.